think we are about ready to get started with our workshop today. My name is Michael Mabry, and I am very thankful to have you all here to join us today for our major and career pathways workshop. It is a workshop, and so today we are going to work. I know it's Saturday, and I know when I was a little bit younger, Saturday it was time for DuckTales in the morning. And all my favorite cartoons and whatnot. And so I appreciate you all foregoing that today to join me to talk a little bit about your future. So as I said, my name is Mike Mabry. I am a college access advisor here at College Depot. We are located in the Burton Bar Central Library, just southeast of McDowell and Central here in Phoenix. So I know you look at that young man there, not so young anymore. I just turned 39. Anyway, I know you look at that young man on the screen, you say, look at that guy, he has everything figured out. And yeah, you're correct. No, you're not correct, okay? I have one thing figured out. I have one thing figured out for myself because I put a little bit of time in, invested a little bit of time into some self-discovery. And that's what we're going to talk about today because you're going to have a lot of interests. You all are multifaceted, multi-talented individuals. And there are a plethora of majors and careers and ways that you can go in life. And I know we all want to hit that one, the one that's for us. I don't operate off the belief that there's one thing that you all are ever going to be good at. I think there's going to be multiple things that you're going to be good at, and we just need to find the one that you feel is going to be good for you right now. Something that will be flexible enough for the future, but something that can speak to who you are now. And in order to figure out who you are, we're going to do some work today. So what is College Depot? We are a full-service, free, full-service college access center. We help students do things like apply for the colleges they want to go to. We help them apply for financial aid, so filling out things like the FAFSA, which I know if you all have ever dealt with the FAFSA before, it can be pretty complicated. And it feels a lot better when you have somebody who has done it a few times sitting next to you. So we offer that type of service here as well. And of course, searching for scholarships and just general college planning. We help students with all of those things with one-on-one appointments, whether you prefer those appointments be video call, phone call, or we also offer in-person appointments on Wednesdays and Saturdays. All right, so we're going to get right into it. So I guess the biggest reason why I wanted to do this workshop is because I never really had anyone discuss with me what my options were in terms of a major. I just kind of showed up at ASU. That's where I got my undergrad degree. I kind of showed up at ASU and they asked me what I wanted to do. And I was like, sociology? I don't know. They introduced me to one of the instructors who happened to be in the building that day. And she actually was instructor for the African and African American Studies program. And I'm like, you know, when I was in high school, learning about how people interact with each other, race, gender, just general identity, I found that very interesting. And I thought I could do this on the collegiate level. I want to pursue this. And I got lucky. I got really lucky because that's all the time I really put into trying to find a major. And it just happened to work out for me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm clicking and clicking and clicking. So in other words, I had a lot of options that were available to me and I kind of lucked into something that I would be good at. And I want you all to have a little bit of a better experience. I want you all to feel a little bit more like it was an intentional decision when it came to the major or the career path that you chose for yourself. So there are a lot of options that you have. There are four-year universities like ASU. There are community colleges like Phoenix College, like Estrella Mountain Community College, like Mesa Community College. There are technical schools, trade schools, and there are apprenticeship programs. So apprenticeship programs are a cool combination of both academics and work. For those of you who are patient enough to not have to get your degree in 4 years, but you're interested in maybe a long-term view of things and you're willing to go participate in an apprenticeship for 6 to 8 years, you'll find yourself at the end of it with a degree, with years of experience in a career already, and a lot less debt than the average student just goes directly to college and just does the 4-year plan. So there are other options for you. You got to figure out which one's best for you. And there's no one way of doing things. Some people, when they're looking for jobs and they're looking for careers and they're looking for majors, they're looking for something that speaks about who they are as a person. If they're looking for something that they can invest in 40 hours a week to create the person that they want to be, their career needs to define them, needs to be part of their identity. Some of us, we just want someplace we can go for 40 hours, we can work, make our money so that we can pursue our passions outside of the workplace. We want to compartmentalize. So everyone's going to be a little bit different. It's just about tapping into yourself and figuring out which of those options is the best fit for me. When it comes to education, at any of these types of institutions, it's going to be majors, minors, certificates, concurrent degrees. So concurrent degrees are degree programs that you pursue two or more, usually two. I haven't seen really students go for three, but I'm sure it can be done. But 2 degrees that you will pursue at the same time at the undergraduate level. And accelerated degree programs, they're different at every institution. Some schools, when they say accelerated degree, they're speaking of a degree program that can be done in a shorter amount of time, maybe 3 years for your bachelor's degree. Specifically at ASU, when they're talking about accelerated degree programs, we're talking about degree programs where you do your 4 years of undergrad, but in your final year of undergrad, you take up to 12 credits of graduate level coursework. And so the idea is you do your 4 years, you get your bachelor's degree, you have a year of grad school already done. So the +1 is called a 4+1 program. The +1 is that you just have 1 more year of coursework left until you've earned your master's degree. Instead of doing the 4 years, graduating, and then doing 2 years of graduate level coursework to earn your master's. So it's a good way to cut time if you know that you're the type of student who's going to pursue a graduate degree as well as after your undergraduate. The other thing to keep in mind, just at ASU alone, there are 800 plus graduate and undergraduate degree programs. And they don't have all the programs in the world. There's not a marine biology program at ASU because there's not a lot of exotic fish and coral at the bottom of Town Lake. So there are certain programs that if you're looking for it, it might take you out of state. There are certain programs where you have to do a little bit of compromise. Well, they don't have this specific program that I want, but this one is closely related and it's at a school that's easily accessible to me, so I want to go that route. So today is about looking for how you can tap into the different options that you have available to yourself when it comes to choosing a degree program. And there's a lot. So what's a major? So a major is your degree plan, your degree program. It's you concentrate most on when you're in your undergrad. It's the classes that you take mostly during that time. There are going to be other types of coursework that you'll need to take. So for instance, if you're a psychology major, the majority of your degree, I'd say 60 to 70 of the 120 credits that you need to graduate are going to be psychology coursework or psychology related coursework. But you're also going to need to take mathematics. You're also going to need to take lab science courses. Also going to need to take statistics courses, mathematics, all that good stuff, humanities, social behavioral sciences, electives as well. So you're going to have a lot of coursework that you take around your major, but the majority of the coursework that you take, especially on the upper division level, is going to be related directly to the major that you chose. So the point of choosing a major is to kind of set yourself on a career path, to give yourself options within a certain realm, whether that be the social behavioral sciences, the hard sciences, if you're interested in STEM programming. Your major is going to put you in a position to pursue those types of careers after you graduated. So here are some myths about majors. So one, choosing a major means giving up on another. No, you don't need to give up on a program completely. You can pursue a concurrent degree. You can earn an undergraduate degree and then come back later and earn another undergraduate degree if that's what you want. And you can do things like pursue minors or pursue a certificate alongside your major. So I was talking a little bit earlier about electives. If staying in school for 4 years and not doing any more than 4 years is important to you, then perhaps instead of taking random classes with your electives, you take classes that are going towards a minor or a certificate with your elective, the room that you have for electives in your major. Some majors have a lot of room for electives. So a major like communication, for instance, you see a lot of room for elective coursework. So fitting in a minor or fitting in a certificate isn't going to be too difficult. Engineering, on the other hand, is going to be very specific in terms of the types of courses that you take. there's not a whole bunch of wiggle room for electives. And so if you wanted to pick up a minor or certificate, you're probably looking at spending time during summer in school, or maybe even taking an extra semester after your 4 years to finish up a minor or certificate. Once you've added a minor or certificate to your degree plan, you have to complete that in order to graduate, unless you go to your advisor and ask them to remove that minor or certificate. It's just something to keep in mind. Another myth, I'll just pick a random one. Let's see, majors will determine what you do with the rest of your life. There's no way. There's no way that's true at all. As I told you, my undergraduate degree is in African and African American studies, minored in sociology, and the first professional job that I had after I got out of grad school, and I earned my graduate degree in nonprofit studies. The first job I had was to be a mortgage loan officer for USAA, you know, so there wasn't exactly an African and African American studies store that I could apply to and get a job and say, hey, I'm your African and African American studies representative today. So you have to be a little bit creative with the way that you and market your skills and your degrees. There's also, let's pick another one. Let's say finish your requirements first. So finishing your major requirements first, I understand the idea and the theory behind that, but there's a couple things that would potentially get in your way. Let's say you do all of your required coursework first. And so your senior year, all you have left is electives. So you can your study abroad, you can take all your yoga classes. And be like, yes, this is finally where I wanted to be. I got all the hard stuff out of the way, and so now I can relax. If you're looking to go to grad school and they see that you took your last semester to do nothing but kind of fluff classes, they're going to take that into consideration in accepting you to that graduate program. It's something to consider. Also, if there is, let's say, a minor or something that you want to pursue, but you spent all this time just doing your major coursework and not engaging in a minor or certificate, what you might find is that that minor certificate that you want, it requires a sequence of classes in order for that minor or certificate. And so if you have a year coursework left, but your minor takes 3 semesters of coursework because one class leads to another, which leads to the final class that you need for that minor certificate. Now you're looking at potentially dropping your minor certificate completely, or staying an extra semester in order to complete that minor or certificate, which you need exactly. And so that's the reason why you wouldn't want to finish all of your pursuing those. If you're all wondering, why am I speaking so technically about all this? I used to be an academic advisor at ASU. I used to be an academic advisor at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, California, and I also used to advise at the University of Colorado in Colorado Springs. So that's where my background comes from, is academic advising. So if I'm getting too much in the weeds, just, ignore me. All right, a career. So a career is more than a job, right? Your career is something that you pursue consistently, something that you have a long-term view of. I've had many jobs in my life, but my career has always been around higher education. Whether I was working for the city of Seattle as a youth counselor for their Upward Bound program, working for the city of Phoenix as a career, as a college access advisor for the library system, it's always been around higher education. And so when we're talking about the major that you want to choose, we're talking about something that's going to lead to a career. And so you want to give yourself a lot of flexibility, a lot of options when it comes to picking the path that you want to take. For me, I understand how people would think that being rigid in your thoughts about what you want to do for a career, having a one goal type of mindset would seem like a source of strength. To me, doing that seems more like you're painting yourself into a corner where you only have one option that you pursue. You have that mindset, and if you don't get to that option, then you don't have a backup plan. My ideal is that strength comes from flexibility, from the ability to access multiple options. And so when you're looking for degree programs, you're gonna want to stick to your guns. If you have a dream, definitely do that, but also keep your mind open for other options that might come your way, because a lot of the things that you find in life that grab you the tightest and that make you think the most, that happens on accident. It doesn't always happen um, deliberately and in line with what you had planned for, how you had planned for things. And another important thing, a career change is possible. So although I have been in this career of higher education for so long, I work for the city of Phoenix. And so there's a lot of different pathways that I can access because I have my education, because I have an undergraduate degree and a graduate degree. So just the flexibility itself of earning a degree will open so many doors for you. So it's definitely worth it. And here's some tips that also find mentors in your chosen career. If you have something in mind of this is the thing that I want to do, if you are already maybe participating in it through internships, through jobs that you have right now, it's good to find people who have climbed the ladder in those. They can tell you what path you need to take. They can tell you, they can give you advice regarding what skills you need to pick up in your young, early years in your career. So definitely seek out those people. People are more helpful than you think when it comes to helping others. All right, so next we're going to talk a little bit about how to make a choice. I'm going to play this YouTube video, and we are going to hope that technology is nice to us today and everything works, but we're not going to guarantee it. All right, let's see.
Hey, Psych2Goers, welcome back to our channel. Thank you all so much for the love and support that you've given us. Your ongoing support has helped us make psychology and mental health more accessible to everyone. So thanks again. Now let's continue. Ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle once said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." But how many of us really take the time to reflect on our deepest thoughts, feelings, and experiences to get a good sense of who we are? Nowadays, life moves so fast, it sometimes feels like we don't even have time to breathe, much less take the time for introspection. But getting to know yourself and learning more about who you are as a person can actually do a lot to make you happier, resolve your inner conflicts, improve your relationships with others, and most of all, improve your relationship with yourself. So, here are 8 of the most important things you should know about yourself. Number 1. What makes you happy? One of the most rewarding things you can learn about yourself is what makes you happy, but you might rarely ever take the time to reflect on it. And although asking yourself this can seem like such a loaded question, being honest about what you're most passionate about and who you enjoy spending time with is crucial to finding your purpose in life and nurturing your mental and emotional well-being. Finding your happiness, even if it's just in the little everyday things, can do so much to improve the quality of your life and help you realize what you should and shouldn't prioritize. Number 2, your core values. Do you think honesty matters more than sensitivity? What about hard work versus resourcefulness, or ambition versus loyalty? Would you prefer others to be more open-minded or more traditional? What about community versus self-interest, or freedom versus loyalty? Knowing what ideas, virtues, or principles you value the most is crucial for not only your understanding more about who you are as a person, but also what you want from your relationships. Your core values are the ideas you want to uphold, and they give your life meaning and direction when you need to make a difficult decision or when stuck in times of strife. Number 3, how you respond to stress. Are you calm under pressure or panicky and anxious? Do you usually run away from conflict or face it head on? Knowing your go-to stress response is key to succeeding in difficult and demanding situations. Responding to stress in an unhealthy way, like denying all of your problems or procrastinating until the very last minute, holds you back from achieving your goals by trapping you in a dysfunctional pattern of behavior. When you're more aware of how you react in a stressful situation, you're better able to manage your anxiety, avoid the pitfalls of these unhealthy coping mechanisms, and stay resilient even amidst emotional distress. Number 4, your physical health. When you take care of your body, you make it easier for yourself to manage stress and fight against the symptoms of anxiety, depression, and fatigue. So it's important that you know what illnesses and medical conditions you may have and treat them as soon as possible to avoid further complications. For example, when left untreated, hyperthyroidism can actually lead to developing depression, So the more you know about your physical health, the better off you'll be mentally and emotionally. Number 5, your personality type. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? What's your MBTI type? Enneagram type? How do you rank in terms of the big 5 personality factors? Now, you might not even begin to know how to answer these questions, but taking a personality test is actually one of the easiest and most insightful ways you can get to know yourself better. Knowing your personality type can give you a deeper understanding of all the things that make you who you are and why you are the way that you are. It's a simple, fun, and interesting way to learn new things about yourself. Number 6, your strengths. The sooner you learn what you excel at, the sooner you can start honing these skills and realizing your full potential. Are you good at cooking or dancing? Do you have a nice singing voice or a talent for writing? Do you easily finish puzzles and riddles? Or are you more interested in debate and public speaking? Are you a people person, a natural born leader, a gifted athlete? The truth is, until you put yourself out there and give it a try, you'll never know. Number 7, your weaknesses. Just as it's important to know where your strengths lie, it's also important for you to be aware of your own faults, flaws, and limitations. Of course, even though we all know that nobody is perfect, it's not always easy to admit to yourself what your weaknesses are. But having some insight into the things you struggle with and why can give you a clearer understanding of all the ways you could be holding yourself back. Are you trying to force yourself to be good at something you don't even enjoy? Or are you pursuing a career that doesn't suit your interests and skill sets? Once you know all of your weaknesses, you can either work to overcome them or learn to work around them. Either way, it's a good step to take towards personal growth and self-improvement. And number 8, your ideal self. If there's one thing about yourself you should always keep in mind, it's who you want to be in the future. Who are the people you look up to and why? What is it about them that you admire? And what is it you see in yourself that you feel is worth nurturing? Getting in the habit of asking yourself things like, what does this choice or action say about me? And is this in line with my best self? Brings you closer to the kind of person you're striving to be. It helps you stay true to your own values, passions, and goals. So, how well do you know yourself? Did this video help you discover what your core values are? Or help you realize what makes you happy? Do you know what your strengths and weaknesses are? Or what kind of personality you have? Discovering self-knowledge can pave the way for self-love, acceptance, self-confidence, and personal growth.
All right, so you good? All right, good. That's better.
Yeah.
We don't like echo. So the whole purpose of me showing that video is to give you a little incentive to look inside, see yourself as a subject, kind of in the third person a little bit, kind of look at yourself as something that's worth investigating, something that's worth investing time into getting to know, because I think a lot of us, we look to others to discover who we are, and other people, they can have nice things to say. They can have compliments, they can have critiques, but all of that is based on their work. And you have to develop your own in life, or else you're going to be chasing other people's definition of what it is to be a person, and that is not a healthy habit to form early. So it's good to know that you would accept the idea that you may know more about yourself than anyone, but you still need to put effort into learning your likes, dislikes, strengths, and areas for growth. And that's what we're going to make sure we do today. All right. So it's assessment time. So we're going to today try to complete an assessment. Specifically, the one that we're going to do is called Me3. It's an assessment program that was developed by ASU. So the way it's going to work, you're going to get to the website, and we'll get there eventually, but you're going to get to the website. It's going to ask you some preliminary questions. We're going to complete the assessment, and then at the end of the assessment, it's going to ask you for some information, because of course ASU is thinking, if you're going to use our tools, maybe we can advertise to you. So it's a bridge that everyone has to cross. So it's just one of those things. In order to get your results, you have to give them your email address and stuff like that. So it is ASU though, so it's a reputable institution. So don't be afraid to do so. So we're going to use self-assessments today to kind of figure out what majors and programs would be a good fit. And then also we'll look at different job search websites to learn a little bit more about those careers. What are employers that are hiring for those positions? What type of skill sets are they looking for people that are coming in? Because you would want to know if you have the opportunity to do things like internships while you're in undergrad in order to get the experience that these employers looking for. You would see that they're looking for that on the job search website. Okay, so if you all could go to phoenixpubliclibrary.org. And I believe we're going to post the link in the chat for phoenixpubliclibrary.org. I want to show you how to get to our resources page. Library.org. Here we are. Once you get to this page, you will look over here on the right and see the College Depot banner. Go ahead and click on that banner. And then you're going to scroll down a little bit and you'll see another banner for resources. You're going to click resources. Public library. So before we get into everything having to do with college majors and careers, I just want you all to take a look at the different types of resources that we have here. So if you have a person in your life that are in any of these grades, 8th through 12th grade, and they're considering college and they're wanting to know what steps should I be taking in order to achieve getting to college, we have resources that are available for students where they can start working on that type of stuff early. If you need resources to prepare for that ACT, the SAT, we have those. And different types of financial aid resources. So come here and explore our website and take a look at all the different college planning resources. But for today, what we're going to do, college majors and careers, scroll down the NEET assessment right there. On that, then you're going to click on Get Started. So I want you all to complete this assessment. I'm going to give you a little bit over 20 minutes to complete it. So let's plan all to meet back at, let's say, 10:55. For those of you who are here in person, if you need help, please raise your hand. We have people that are in the room that can help you. And if you are joining virtually and you are having difficulties, or if you just have general questions, now is a good time to start asking those questions. And while you all are working, I'll try to address the questions that you have. All right, so let's meet back. Let's be done by 10:55. Yes. Putting it together, right? Thinking. Any questions come through? No. No. All right. Yeah.
So as you guys are going through this, I just wanted to also, for you all to keep in mind, these assessments aren't the be all end all. Taking these assessments are going to result in you having all the answers to your life unlocked. Now, these are just meant to give you some suggestions on directions that you can go in life, based off of, as you can see on the um, a bunch of different types of pictures that you're choosing, which one you prefer. Other assessments get a little bit more deep with asking you very specific questions. And so you would want to make sure that you're using all of the different resources that are available on our website, the Career One Stop, which was sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor. iSeek is another good one. So don't just do Me3. Do as many assessments as you can, just see what comes from it, and do some research, explore the different types of degree programs and the different types of careers that those degree programs can lead to. I think what we'll probably do is just have a couple, throw some programs out, and I'll show you how to go about researching them. And we'll do a few. Also, if you all need to get up, stretch your legs, run to the restroom real quick, now would be a good time to do that as well. Need help figuring out where the restroom is? You have Tina in the back that can show you where it's at. So give her a little nudge. Just put it out.
Gives you.
So I know I said we're gonna come back together at 10:55, and we will to do the research through the ASU website. But I wanted to take you all also through the other large educational institution here, in Arizona, specifically in the city of Phoenix, which is the Maricopa County Community Colleges. So for those of you joining virtually, if you're still working on your assessment, please continue to do so. I will be going over this again through the ASU website, but I do want to show you all also how to navigate the Maricopa. So say I am a student and I am looking to do some research on a degree program that popped up through an assessment that I took. And I know that I'm going to start off at Maricopa Community Colleges for whatever reason. Maybe you're like me. When I started college, it was after I was in the military. And so I had a gap of about 4 years, 4 years between high school and college. And so coming in, I didn't feel like I was ready to go directly to a 4-year university. I wanted to start off at a community college because the stakes were lower. If I were to fail, it wasn't going to cost me a whole bunch of money. And so those were, I wanted that security. I wanted to build up my confidence as an academic before pursuing university level education. So what I would do in this situation is I would go to maricopa.edu website for the Maricopa. Not every institution's website is going to work the same, but there are some things in general that you can count on. Number one is most institutions are going to end in an E on their website, and most on their first page is going to have at the top some options for what people typically will search for. So this Maricopa Community College's website, they have degrees and certificates right on their front page. So I would go here and then specifically to degrees and certificates A to Z so that I can type in the name of the program that I'm looking for. So is there anything that anybody in the room here, any career or major that you got that you think is good to? Anybody? Just throw one out. Web developer. Right. Sometimes the entire thing, the entire word won't give you most that you want. And so sometimes just putting a part of the phrase will give you some good results. So for us, when we just put web in there, not web developer, we have certain things like mobile app development that pops up that's closely related to the work. For those who are very adept with here we go, web design, web development. So those of you who really know computers and know the different types of programs that you could get certified in, this would probably be a good place to start if you've got web developer as a potential career. So what I would do, click on the program itself, and then at the top here, it's going to give us a description of what the program is. So the Associate in Applied Sciences and Web Design Development prepares students to design, create, and administer interactive and professional websites. Courses focus on the hands-on experience with web publishing, web graphics preparation, scripting, content management systems, and e-commerce solutions. The program provides students a pathway to either develop advanced skills in web design or web development. And it also lets you know that certificates are available. Now, specifically on the Maricopa website, especially if you're looking for certificates and you're depending on financial aid, something like FAFSA, to be able to help assist for paying for your school, you're going to want to make sure you look at this page closely because they will tell you if the program program is not FAFSA eligible. So something like, let's say the EMT program. So the emergency medical technician program that's available through the Maricopa Community Colleges, you can get that certificate done there. However, it is not FAFSA eligible, so you will need to pay out of pocket in order to pay for this program. If that's a deal breaker for you, you're gonna wanna know upfront. So just make sure that you look for stuff like that. And it would be here under details. Usually they put it somewhere around here. I'll let you know. The other thing, especially if you're looking for the Maricopa Community Colleges, you would want to look to see where this particular program is offered. And so, let's see. So these, it looks like it's pretty much offered through any of the different institutes that they have, which is a good thing. So it gives you flexibility in terms of where you can, where you can. They'll also give you a little rundown on what you'll learn during the program. So make sure that you read through this. And if there are specific things that you're wanting to learn from your degree program, you're gonna want to make sure that it's listed here, or maybe you can find a different program that would give you those specific skill set that you're looking for. This is also another important area, career opportunities. So these are a few different things that you can do with this degree program. Now, when they list these things here, they're not saying that you're going to be able to walk in the door and get these jobs with an associate's degree. They're saying that continued education within this career path or this career field would eventually lead you to employment in a career like graphic design or web development. And it gives you an idea of how much you would make annually. And then here it shows you, I guess it looks like over the time, how much, how lucrative the career.
So Mike, we do have a question, if I can
Oh,
interrupt.
yeah, absolutely.
If you do you know why are only certain programs eligible for federal financial aid? And if they're not, does that mean they're not a good program?
So that's a good question. So there are a lot of reasons that a program would not be eligible for federal aid. It could be that the program is, for some schools, it's not accredited. It's not fully accredited. If a program's not accredited, you can still learn skills that will be valuable, but in order for you to get a job with a lot of these reputable organizations and companies, they're going to want to know that the education that you've got had been vetted by a larger educational body that approves of what you've been learning, the order that you were learning, how much you're learning, and all that good stuff. Also, some programs that are technical in nature aren't going to be eligible for FAFSA funds. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad program to join, though. Some folks are just looking to learn a trade. Some people are just looking to learn a certain skill set. And if that's going to get you advanced in your life, in your job, for some people, they want to work for themselves. They want to be self-employed, and they just need the tools. They just need to learn how to do certain things like web design. And then they'll feel better about going off on their own and marketing themselves and producing a good career for themselves through those paths. So there is some discretion that you want to take, definitely, when picking a degree program. But just because it's not eligible for FAFSA does not mean that it's not legitimate or it's not worth the pursuit. That's a good question. Any other questions in the room or on the web? All right. So once you get down to this part, especially on the Maricopa site, you're going to see where it says pathway map options. So if you want a very specific outcome for this degree program, you could go for web design and development as the degree program that so the classes that you're taking are going to pertain to both web design and development. But if you want to be on a track specifically for web design or specifically only for web development, you can also pick those tracks. So you just want to pick which one you feel is going to be best for you. This is the fun part for me. So now that I've picked which program I want both web design and development. I want to know what my semester to semester is going to look like. What types of classes am I expected to take if I'm a full-time student? Or
if you're planning on going part-time, you could also see what, how many classes each semester you'd be able to take or you'd be expected to take as a part-time student. So let's look at this real quick, from, the full-time perspective. So full-time status is 12 credits to 18 credits per semester at the, Maricopa Community Colleges. It's also the same at ASU. But from a big picture standpoint, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms of coursework in order to earn this associate's degree. 4 terms is 2 years. If we go to part-time, you're taking less classes every semester, so it's going to take longer. So they're saying if you're going part-time, this program could take up to 10 terms, which is more like 5 years. So there are some drawbacks to going part-time, but the smart decision to make is to not bite off more than you can chew. Take what you can handle. Because a lot of people who want to just put their head down and barrel through, they might pass their classes, but maybe they won't pass them with as highest grades as they could have. And maybe that affects their ability to get into a graduate program in the future. Or maybe when they're applying for jobs and the job is asking them for their transcripts, and they see that this student, yes, they graduated with this degree, but they graduated with a 2.4 GPA compared to somebody else who maybe graduated cum laude or magna cum laude or summa cum laude with the same degree program. They're probably going to pick the person who was able to score higher grades in those situations. It's not always going to be like that. But if you do your best to kind of moderate and do things according to your own abilities and your own, the time that you have to do it, the space that you have to do it, the freedom that you have to do it, then you have a much likely better outcome. So again, let's look again for the full-time students, what types of classes they would be taking. So these are computer information systems classes. That's why they start off with CIS. So these, of course, are courses related directly to your major, but you'd also be expected to take English 101 or English 107, which is for English second language learners. And then how to be successful in college class, which is pretty standard for any institution for you to take that. Your second term will include more of your CIS classes, but you're also going to need to complete mathematics along with the second term of your English coursework. And I believe a course like this, critical reading, is if you test into this level. I don't think that every student would need it, but again, it's something that you can consult with your academic advisor about when you get to your institution. Term 3, specialization courses. And so I'm sure that those are going to be listed somewhere or with your academic advisor, but it's usually a list of restricted electives that you can choose from to fulfill these requirements. That's why it doesn't have a specific course. There's probably 20, 30 different courses that you could take to fulfill these slots, and you just pick which 4 that you would want. A communications course to fulfill a social behavioral science requirement for general education, and then another social behavioral science course, they suggest Psych 101. Then your 4th term, be doing more specialization courses, natural lab science course, and then humanities. So these classes will give you 2-year associate's degree. And then, of course, if you decide to continue your education, you can then transfer to a 4-year institution in order to earn your bachelor's degree or go even further. So that's how I would go about checking and researching the different degree program. If this one doesn't pique your interest, go back, type in the same term, and look at some of the other programs that are closely related to web design, web development that you might be interested in, information technology, healthcare technology systems. Look at the different programs that you have available to you that might not be exactly what it said on the assessment, but is related in some way because you might find your niche in those fields. All right. So, we're past 10:55, so I'm going to show you all again how to search for something like this on the ASU website.
Again, I'm picking ASU because I'm familiar with ASU, used to work there. But also I'm picking ASU because, a lot of the students that are in the Valley, of course, are going to be at least applying to ASU even if they don't plan to attend. So, Meryl, I believe you, for those who are joining us over, the web, she's going to put the link in order to get to the ASU degree, programs webpage. For you in the room today, I'm going to show you how to get there. So if you can follow me to asu.edu. Then after you get there, we'll click on academics. Then you're gonna scroll down a little bit to where it says find your degree. Click find your degree. Go down a little bit more, and we're going to look for undergraduate degrees, and we're going to explore degrees. Now I'm gonna ask somebody who is joining us virtually, can you, maybe, give us one of the degree programs that, came up as a result for you so that we can research it on the ASU website? Go ahead and type it in, and then Meryl will pick, one of the programs that pop up.
Not web developer again, maybe should we try?
We did web developer. Let's
Yeah.
do another one. Anybody get something like psychology or communication, secondary education, anything like that?
Nothing yet.
If not, I'm just gonna pick a random one so that you all can get back to your Saturday.
What about nursing?
Nursing? Okay, that's a popular one.
I got to health informatics.
Okay.
That's an interesting one, or journalism.
Okay, all right.
Either one of those.
Not sure. Good? Okay.
Yep.
So we heard, a couple related to health, so I'm just gonna type health in, see, what comes up on the ASU website. If you all don't have to follow me along specifically, since you've already kind of seen the Maricopa website's gonna work the same or very similar for ASU, so if you wanted to explore your own, feel free, otherwise you could just, watch what I'm doing. All right. And so we're going to try to find those programs, that was suggested. Now, as you can see, when I put health in, it came up with 198 different results. Because it's such a general field that I put out there, that's the, anything that can possibly be related to health is going to pop up here. On the ASU website, you can filter if you know that you only want to go to the Tempe, campus, let's say. Filter for that. I only want, programs that are available through Tempe. Then, you would want, if you want one specifically that requires you to learn a second language, 2 years of the second language, you can filter that way. Let's just check ASU Tempe, and let's see. How about we do global health? So, actually, let's pick one that has both, A and BS. You said, what was it, health informatics?
Yes, informatics.
All right, well, these don't have a BA and a BS. Just when you're looking for different degree programs, just know that there's gonna be a difference between the Bachelor of Science and the Bachelor of Arts degree. In general terms, the Bachelor of Science degree program is going to be very similar to the Bachelor of Arts, but it's probably going to require more science, more math, more statistics, maybe more research methods type coursework. Typically, they're more rigorous, the BS option, more so than the BA option. So if you see, two programs with the same name with the BA and the BS, make sure that you figure out what the differences are between the two degree programs so that you can pick the one that, is best, the best fit for you. If we look at biomedical and informatics, again, just like on the Maricopa website, it's going to give us a description of the program. So you just want to make sure that you read it, make sure that it is what you think it is based off the title. And then here in the at a glance area, it's gonna let you know which college specifically at ASU offers this program. It's gonna let you know what the location is, since we removed the Tempe filter. This one is at the downtown Phoenix program, or campus, I'm sorry. Is there an additional program fee? Some programs are going to, you're gonna be admitted, and the only fees that you're gonna have to pay are the general fees. But some programs are very specific, very specialized, and so it's going to take extra equipment, very specialized equipment for you to be able to do the learning that you need to do. Therefore, there's an extra or additional program fee. So you want to make sure that you're checking for that so that you can expect it. You don't want any money to unexpectedly be taken out of your pockets. No one likes that. It's gonna let you know whether the program requires a second language and then the first required math course. So this lets you know the first required math course is calculus for life sciences. That's a higher level math course. When you get to ASU, and pretty much most universities do it this way, when you get there, they're gonna have you take a math placement exam to determine what level of math you're ready for. So let's say you really wanted this degree program, but the math placement test that you took placed you in a lower level math. Some students in that situation, what they need to do is change into a different major, complete the math classes that they need until they get to the level that they're ready to engage in the program that they want, and then they can declare that major. That can be a little bit dangerous though. And I'll tell you this, when I was an academic advisor at ASU, we had a lot of students in the business college that did not meet the minimum requirements for admission. And so because the business college advisors were next to us, they'd send their students over to me because I advised for the social and behavioral sciences. The student would enroll in a communications program, let's say, and then complete courses for a different major. It's risky because if you don't complete the courses that you need to complete in order to get into that major, now you're stuck in a position where you might have a bunch of classes that you took that won't apply to the major that you chose as a placeholder major, and you can't get to the major that you want. And so it's a roll of the dice, and I'd say only take that risk if you are committed and confident to your commitment to that degree program and to that career path. They'll let you know what the math intensity is of a degree program, and this is very nice for them to do on the front end because for a lot of people, math intensity can be a deal breaker. So you want to make sure you're taking a good look at that. It will let you know whether the program has accelerated degree options, which this program does. So as I was telling you before, the 4+1 program, if you wanted to get your master's degree in biomedical informatics, then you have the opportunity to do the 4+1 and earn your master's degree in 5 years. I'm sorry, earn both your bachelor's and your master's degree in 5 years. So, of course, it has all this other information, just like on the Maricopa website regarding career opportunities, the types of careers that you can get into, the types of salaries that you can potentially achieve within this career field. And then if you go up top here, it will give you the major map. And the major map, of course, lets you know from semester to semester what classes you would need to take in order to fulfill this degree program. And so you just want to look through here, make sure that the classes that they're having, you take the classes that you're genuinely interested in and that you're committed to getting through. So although they said the lowest, what was it, calculus for the life sciences, what was it? Yeah, calculus for life sciences is the first math class that you would need for this program, but it certainly isn't the last. So you're going to want to know where you would need to go from semester to semester.
if you're coming in as a transfer student after earning your associate's degree, you're probably gonna start looking at term 5, although there could be courses required of you earlier that you just didn't take at the community college level. So just make sure that you give this a thorough look, and so that you have a better idea of what your day-to-day or semester to semester would look like. If attending this institution. Again, not every website's gonna look like ASU's, but in general, if you find their homepage and you look for academics or degree programs or undergraduate degrees or something like that, you'll be able to find all this information on whatever website, like, whatever educational institution or website that's on. All right, so do we have any questions about searching for programs? Yes.
So did you?
If they will let you know, yeah, so, at ASU, you would want to talk to your advisor and definitely talk to financial aid about it. If you're talking about a degree program, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, it's gonna be FAFSA eligible at these universities, at the state universities, U of A, ASU, NAU, even GCU, they're going to be FAFSA eligible. If you're only going in pursuit of a certificate specifically, so you're not going for a full degree, you're just looking to go for a certificate, double check with the administrators of that college that your financial aid, your FAFSA, will be eligible to pay for those programs. That's a good question. Any others? Anything from virtual? No? Okay, all right. So the other thing I wanted to show you all real quick, is how you would go about looking for, information regarding the careers that you're pursuing. So for this particular program, if we're looking for careers, say, biostatistician. What I would do in this situation, and you can go to any website, any job search website, Career Builder, Monster, whatever. I'm gonna go to Indeed. And then I'm going to search for that term. Now, you can look in Phoenix, you can decide to look, anywhere. Let's stick to Phoenix. But if you have dreams of being a biostatistician, the greatest biostatistician that the city of Miami has ever seen, then put Miami, Florida in there and see what the requirements would be, see what they're looking for specifically from somebody who has that degree or who has that experience. So the first thing I see is a biostatistician is needed at Phoenix Children's Hospital, one of the most reputable and largest hospitals here in the area. And so they're going to give you a description of the job here, the duties that you would be required to take care of from day to day. And so this gives you a good idea of what your day to day will look like. Some will even go as far as letting you know how many years of experience they expect you to have before getting hired for this position. Or they'll let you know what type of certifications along with the degree that they're looking for you to have, what skill sets they're looking for you to have. So make sure that you go on these job websites, and if it looks like they don't have the salary listed here, but do your research and look to see what type of salaries that they're offering. I know it shows it on the ASU website, but this gives you a more real-time assessment of what salaries would look like for this position. So, do your research, look at all these different opportunities that are available, and then you'll get a better sense of what you're pursuing, what direction you're going. Okay. All right, so we are going to get back to our PowerPoint here, and then we're going to wrap up here in the next 15 minutes. All right. So we have another video here. There are a lot of students who have mentioned to us here in the College Depot that they are interested in careers and having to do with, being a surgeon. And so we're gonna watch a little video about the day
Where did you
in the
see
life
that?
of a heart.
Indian.
Yeah, it's using this computer audio. Perfect. All right. Is it back on now? Okay. So if you're joining online, know that we're having some audio issues. Just click on the link in the chat and watch the video separately, and then us here in the room together will watch it right now.
months and months being apart from it. And so you want to make sure that you create a spreadsheet that will categorize things like pros and cons of a career, the salary. You would want to know specifically after you've narrowed down the school that you want, whether that program will allow you to add on a minor or a certificate. You'll also want to know, of course, which schools offer that program that you're interested in. So just make sure that you're looking for those types of things, and writing them down and keeping track of it so that you can, as you change, as your mind changes, as you evolve, as you learn, you can keep track of the things that you were considering before. And then when the time comes, you can make a fully informed and detailed decision. This is an example of what a spreadsheet would look like. So this was a great example of the things that you should be looking for, whether the program offers internships, whether a study abroad is required for that program, average salaries, all this stuff is good types of categories that you would want to put for whatever degree program it is that you are researching. And just keep hold of it and keep it a running list. As you go through your senior year, you're going to have different things that you're interested in. Keep hold of it and keep adding to it as you run into different opportunities. All right, so I want to tell you a little bit about our GRIT program offered through College Depot. So GRIT stands for Graduating Ready, Independent, and Tenacious. A lot of the things that we discussed today, we actually offer through one-on-one appointments. So what your GRIT advisor will do, they'll be assigned to you for your entire senior year. And so instead of having to come to workshops, if you wanted a little bit more personalized, one-on-one information, a little bit one-on-one advisement with someone who you can meet with consistently. You can meet with us every 2 weeks or meet with us once a month, or hey, I just need you to help me out with my FAFSA and then you can leave me alone. If that's what you want, then we are here to provide that. We're here to fill in the gaps. You all are going to have, for the most part, your counselors at your high school that can help you with stuff like this. Because sometimes you find students that fall through the cracks for whatever reason. We're here to kind of to help those students who need the assistance that they're not getting from school or at home for whatever reason. So you can definitely join your senior year, and you would sign up through our website. So again, go to the phoenixpubliclibrary.org website, click on the College Depot banner, and then there should be another banner for GRIT specifically so that you can sign up. All right, well, everybody, I'm going to let you get back to your Saturday. I want to thank you for joining me today. It's very, very nice of you all to come. And specifically, I want to make sure that I give a shout out to Meryl up front here. I want to thank you very much for helping me out today. And if you think that this presentation was great and that I did a great job of putting it together, then you are wrong, because Tina did a good job putting it together and Nancy did a great job putting it together, and so did Jazz. She's not in the room, but I want to thank you three very much for helping me out today. I could not have done this without your help, so thank you very much. And if you all ever need College Depot services, our contact information is on the screen here. On your way out, if you want to grab some more business cards, if you want to make an appointment in the future, we would be glad to meet with you. And if you're interested in the GRIT program and you wanted to discuss that more with me one-on-one, feel free to come up and talk to me now. Other than that, well, get back to your Saturday and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.